Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Final Fantasy VII. This episode we're going to take a break from the storyline and I'm going to show you everything you need to do to get the Gold Chocobo, which allows you to get some of the best materia in the game. So, we will eventually continue on with the story, but this is all dedicated to the Gold Chocobo. So, first things first is we want to head into the Chocobo Ranch. And I've already talked to Choco Bill. Basically, you're going to run to his little hut here and talk to him, and he'll talk to you about raising chocobos, and then he'll eventually let you buy stables from him. I've already done that, so we're just going to say, take care of my chocobos, and he'll say we need a stable, and the rent is 10,000 gil. You can rent up to 6 stables at once. And because we'll rent a stable, he'll let us keep 4 chocobos in the fenced area outside, where all those chocobos were when we first entered the ranch. Yep, and then we will be doing this when we breed the chocobos. So, first things first, you want to rent 6 stables. So there's one. You have to go through this dialogue the entire time to rent all 6, and I am going to rent all 6, so I will just cut out the rest of me running the stables because it's kind of boring, so I'll be back once I've rented all 6. Okay, so I've rented all the stables from Choco Bill. Now we want to visit Choco Billy. For 2 things. We need to buy some greens so that we can keep the chocobos in battle as we're trying to acquire them. And I need to sell them something because we're going to have to get a lot of greens to raise their stats. And if you don't know why we need to raise their stats, it's because we will be doing a lot of gold saucer chocobo racing. Well, at least I will. You guys will see a race or 2, but I'm not going to make you see every single race. So, talk to Choco Billy. And we want to buy some greens from him, and I'm just going to buy some mimic greens. I think I'll get a total of 9, because I think I'm going to catch a total of 8 wild chocobos, and I'll get the 1 extra, just in case I screw up a battle. So there's that. Now we're going to need probably about 1,000,000 gil in order to buy all the greens, the special greens that I want. So you might be wondering, how do I get 1,000,000 gil? Well, if you look at my materia, let's see. HP absorb. Let's say we want to switch it out with an all materia. I've mastered all materia, 3 of them in fact, by putting the rune armlet on and fighting enemies right outside the Mideel. On disc 2, it's our best spot in the game to level up our materia. So I have 3 all materia. I just need the 1. But instead of buying this time, we're going to sell materia to Choco Billy. And anyone that you can sell an item to in this game will do this. Sell an all AP mastered materia for 1.4 million. Awesome. So I got 1.5 million, which is more than I need. And, so, you know, if you don't have enough money, I would recommend just going and mastering some all materia. It really actually took a lot less time than I suspected. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get those special greens that I talked about. So, I'll just hop on my Highwind, and I will actually show you where to go. There's an unmarked village on the northern continent you want to head to, and there's a special character in the game who lives there. As you can hear me mess with some stuff on my desk. So now that we're in the northern continent, he's up here somewhere. You can see there's a little house right here. There's no mark for it on the map. And there's just enough grass to actually land outside of the house. So we want to run in the house. And you can go talk to that green chocobo over there, and he'll give you an enemy skill materia. I'll get it off screen. I don't need a 4th enemy skill materia. So if you go talk to this guy, who looks like one of the Cetra spirits from the Temple of the Ancients. I don't know if he's supposed to be one or if this is just the same sprite they used. So you talk to him and he'll say, oh, it's an unusual place for people to come. He can't remember how long it's been since his last guess, and in fact he can't even remember his name. Who are you, dude? And he says, I don't know. You know what, Cloud, considering what just happened in the game, you should be very sympathetic to that plight. What was it they used to call me? Oh, I remember. The Chocobo Sage. This guy knows everything about chocobos. That's kind of a finger quotes way I said it. Basically, he can remember certain information about breeding special chocobos. See, if you say, what about chocobo? What about that chocobo? He doesn't remember. And what you have to do is you have to fight a certain number of battles. I think it might be 5 battles, and he'll remember a new piece of information. So, I don't really care about that. I know everything I need to know. If I fight a few battles, maybe I'll come back at later episodes and show you other things he says. But the real reason we're here is we want to buy Sylkis Greens. 5,000 gil apiece. I'm going to buy 99 of them. I'll probably be back for more. We need to feed these greens to certain chocobos to raise their stats to win chocobo races, because when you win a certain number of chocobo races, you move up in rank. And once you're in that higher rank, your chocobos are more likely to breed a special chocobo, like that green one. And so we're gonna need to catch the chocobos and race them up. So 2 more things that we need. First stop I'm going to make is going to be Goblin Island. Just in case you haven't followed my whole walkthrough, I've already done this. But you're going to want to steal a certain nut from a character on Goblin Island. So Goblin Island is right over here. You can see where I'm heading to it on the map. And I'm just going to land and I'll run around the forest until I encounter that certain enemy I'm looking for. Okay, so this is a goblin, and the way to defeat a goblin is to use level 4 suicide on them, which will put them in critical status. Now, if you can, you might want to use a steal materia, because it's rare to actually steal a Zeio Nut from them. And Cloud can use his mug command, hopefully to steal a Zeio Nut on the first try. Unfortunately, mug, unlike steal, will also cause damage, so he'll kill him. And we stole a Zeio Nut, so that's all you need to do. You just need 1 Zeio Nut, and the next place I'll be, we need to get 3 nuts, and I'll show you that next. Okay, so as you can see, I'm outside of Bone Village, and I'm just going to run around until I encounter a dragon enemy named Vlakarados. And looks like I encountered him on the very first try, which is nice. So the way to get the nuts that you need from this enemy is to use Frog Song on him, which will put him to sleep, which will protect your characters. And then as soon as his turn's over, Frog Song will not turn him into a frog, but will put him to sleep. You can try to steal or mug a Carob Nut from him, see if I can do it. If I can't, I'm not going to stick around and show you. So we couldn't steal anything. So basically you just want to keep trying, keep using Frog Song if you wake him up with mug, and keep using mug, and eventually you will be able to steal, like I said, a Carob Nut. And you actually need to encounter 3 of these, because you need 3 Carob Nuts to do your chocobo breeding. So, once you have your 3 Carob Nuts, we're all set to breed our chocobos, and I will meet you guys, because we need 2 different types of chocobos. I'll meet you guys outside of the gold saucer, where we're going to encounter our first. Okay, now another thing I want to make you aware of, you can see how I put mimic greens at the top of my inventory, just because I don't want any chocobos to accidentally run away. And also, another huge thing is materia. So Sid has a chocobo lure materia on his weapon. I actually have Vincent with a mastered chocobo lure, and just because it increases the likelihood of the chocobos appearing in battle. So there's 1 chocobo lure. I took his counter attack off because I don't need him accidentally killing a chocobo. Same thing, like I'm not going to use Cloud's added cut with Death Blow, because if he kills the enemy, his next attack may indeed be the chocobo. And you can see here that Vincent has our master chocobo lure. So there's the gold saucer, and then all of a sudden right here are these chocobo tracks. So I'm just going to run around on these chocobo tracks, and I'm looking for a chocobo with a certain enemy, and this is not it, so I'm just going to cut this out. Alright, finally, this is the enemy I'm looking for. It's a chocobo with 2 Spencers. So I'm going to toss a Mimic Green to the chocobo, and then I'm going to attack the Spencer one by one. I can actually have Vincent use Death Blow on the other one. And hopefully all will go well. Let's see here. Sid killed the first one. Hopefully Vincent kills the second one. And hopefully, yep. So the chocobo will not run away, so we'll capture the chocobo, caught a chocobo. Yep, little amount of experience, AP, and gil. So next thing you want to do is you want to get off the chocobo and use the option send it back to the stables. If you hadn't purchased the stables, you would just turn it loose to the world. So I'm going to catch one more of those chocobos surrounded by 2 Spencers, and then our next stop is going to be right outside the destroyed town of Mideel, so I'll be back once I'm there. Okay, so there is the destroyed town of Mideel, and now we're coming to these chocobo tracks over here. And there's, once again, a certain chocobo with certain enemies that I want to encounter. And you might be wondering, why did I just want to encounter the chocobos with Spencers? Well, each area of chocobo tracks has basically 2 attributes of chocobos. For instance, in the Gold Saucer area, the chocobos with Spencers are classified as good chocobos, and the ones that are not with Spencers are classified as average chocobos, I believe. And I want a good chocobo to breed with a great chocobo, which is how we get the special chocobos. And I'll go over the special chocobos in a little bit. And Mideel, the tracks can have either great chocobos, which I'm looking for, or fair chocobos, which do nothing. Breeding with an average and a fair does absolutely nothing. So we're going to run around on these tracks until we encounter chocobos with 1 or 2 spirals. Okay, so here's the enemy that I'm looking for. It's a chocobo with 1 spiral. They can be with 2 spirals. Spirals are pains in the ass when you hit them once. Basically, they go into this rolling attack, which it causes a lot more damage to kill them, and it increases the likelihood that your chocobo is going to wake up from his little green and run away. So what I like to do is I like to use Vincent with Contain on his weapon, hopefully to freeze them. I believe it petrifies them. If that doesn't work, physical attacks and Molotov should finish them off. So, first things first, we're going to use the Mimic Green on the chocobo. And we're going to wait for Vincent. We're going to use his Death Blow attack, and hopefully it'll petrify the spiral. And it didn't. And of course, the chocobo woke up. So we're going to toss him another green. And the Molotov was not going to kill him, so we're going to have to attack him. Hopefully we can kill him without the chocobo running away. This is the hard part with chocobo breeding, is sometimes, no matter what, the green doesn't hold them, and they run away. So come on. Okay, there we go. I hate catching these chocobos here. So, once again, we're going to disembark our chocobo. We're going to send him back to the stables. And I'm just going to catch one more great chocobo here in Mideel, and then I will meet you guys at the chocobo stables. Okay, so we're back at the chocobo ranch, and there's one very important thing you want to do before you go into the chocobo ranch. You want to save your game. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to save our game right here. And the reason you want to save your game is that the game has not actually assigned a gender yet to the chocobos that you got. So because we're doing chocobo breeding, we want a good male or female, and then we want the opposite gender from the great chocobo. So I want a good male or a good female, and then I want to pair it with either a great female or great male, depending on the gender of the first. And before you run into the chocobo ranch, the genders have not been assigned. So if you don't get what you need, you can just restart the game. So we'll go talk to Chocobill, and hopefully I don't have to restart. So you want to talk to him about moving chocobos. Which ones are you going to put in the stable? So this is a good chocobo. So we're going to put him into our stable. So this is a chocobo female, so I need one of my great chocobos to be a male. So this is good. I'm just going to be boring. I'm just going to go, let's see. Good. Female. So there's that one. So we'll talk to him again. Let's see here. So I need a great male. So we're going to move the Chocobo. Let's see. Hopefully we get a great male. So we're going to pass on the other good one for right now. So here's a great Chocobo. Hopefully it's male. Of course not. Of course it's a female. So whatever. It's another female. So hopefully with our luck, we actually got the opposite genders. Okay, so let's see. So we got a good female and a great female. Now I need either a great male or a great male or a good male. Let's see here. Here's the other great one. Hopefully it's a male. Okay, good. I got my great male. Awesome. So we're just going to delete. And we're going to name this one Great M. I know I'm super creative. And I misspelled great. Hello, American education system. Just kidding, I went to a Catholic school. There we are. Great male. Okay, great male. Whatever, I don't care. Okay. So now I want to release some Chocobos. So we're going to release the Chocobo. Nope. No, not that one. Yeah, we're going to release this one. Okay. So I got my good female and my great male, and I want to feed them greens. And the greens will make it easier to race them at the gold saucer. So, talk to Chocobilly, and he's going to show all those Sylkis Greens at the bottom. So I'm going to give each Chocobo 25. I don't know the exact number of greens to give to max out their stats, but 25 is going to give them more than we need, basically, for the races coming up. So 25, we'll feed this one. So you can see speed plus, stamina plus, intelligence plus, they're getting along better. And the reason you need to feed these greens is we're still trying to breed special Chocobos. That's how we get the Gold Chocobo. And the smarter they are and the higher class they are, which we'll get by racing, the higher likelihood that we will have a special Chocobo. So first, I should probably tell you this, is we're going to need to mate these two parents to breed a blue or a green Chocobo. Then we're going to need to race that Chocobo up. Then we need... Nope, not this one. Then we need to race... Then we need to breed them again and get a green Chocobo if we got a blue, or a blue if we got a green. You know, the Lannisters send their regards. And then we're going to mate those two to get a black Chocobo. And a black Chocobo and another special wild Chocobo will give us the Gold Chocobo. But I'm getting ahead of ourselves, so we need to feed... our great male. He'll get 25. So just feed him. And in case you were wondering, the blue Chocobo is a river Chocobo that can cross rivers. A green Chocobo is a mountain Chocobo that can cross mountains. And a black Chocobo is a combination of both. And you can actually ride these Chocobos in your Highwind, because the Highwind has a Chocobo hold. And use them on different continents. You can even get to 3 of the 4 Materia caves without the Gold Chocobo. Only one actually requires the Gold Chocobo. And I'm just going to wait till I have that one. So now that we've fed our Chocobo greens to the Chocobos, it's time to get in the Highwind. And we're going to fly to the Gold Saucer. So actually we're going to fly to North Coral and take the tram to the Gold Saucer, and I will meet you guys there. Okay, here we are at the Gold Saucer. If you tried to start this side quest before Cloud got his memories back, basically the tram would be down and you wouldn't be able to get to the Gold Saucer. So let's head to the Chocobo Square. And we're just going to run up and we're going to talk to Esther, and we're going to finally race our own Chocobos. And remember, racing them up to an A class will give you a better likelihood of getting a special Chocobo on your first breeding. So we'll talk to Esther. She's just going to talk a little bit. She's going to be like, oh, you can finally race your own Chocobos. So we're going to start with our good female. See how it's C rank. If you win 3 C rank races, you move up to B rank. Win 3 B rank races and move up to A rank. I'm just going to move them up to A. On my gold, I will move up to S class for other reasons, but we'll get into that later. So yeah, we're going to use our C rank Chocobo and just do the short course. The long course has no benefits. So if you win, you'll get an item ticket. So you can see 95 miles per hour, kilometers per hour, 432 stamina, and that just absolutely destroys everyone else in C rank and most B rank too. So you can see that you can actually win a Mega Elixir as the prize. We'll see what our race ticket gets us. So I'm going to hit start, turn it to manual, and Cloud will race out in front. Now I'm using the dash button just to get a little bit of a boost. And in the PlayStation version, you could use your dash button and you could constantly refill your stamina. I don't believe that works in the Steam version. I've never got it to work. So just keep an eye on your stamina. Make sure you have some for the home stretch. And basically, my Chocobo, his stats are so good that I don't have to worry about anyone catching up to us. Now, I'm holding the buttons, but I think my stamina is still going down. Like I said, though, it's not an issue. Just hold, forward and make your way around the curves. And it's pretty easy. You can hold a certain button to slow down. There's no point to it. So, Chocobo racing, not that hard. When you get up to A class, and especially S class, you can race Joe on his black Chocobo Teioh. And that's pretty much the only Chocobo that will ever rival ours as far as speed and stamina. Well, some Chocobos will have higher speed, but their stamina will be a joke compared to ours. And once we get to the Gold Chocobo, you'll see that. Okay, so we're coming towards the end of the race. You can see how far out in front I am of everyone else by looking at the map in the upper right corner. And now we'll just use the Speed Burst to take it on home. So using Speed Burst, Speed Burst, Speed Burst. If you use all your stamina, which you can see on the lower left, basically your Chocobo will walk very slowly. And there we won the Chocobo race. You can see how the Chocobo's tossing a Cloud up super fast. Sometimes that happens in the Steam version. Sometimes it'll be slower. It's kind of a bug in the Steam version. And of course we have to wait for the second place Chocobo before we can advance the race, and he's finally coming around. There we go. So we won the race. And what item ticket did I get? A Mega Elixir. So you can take the Mega Elixir, or what I'm going to do is I want the GP. So 300 GP. No, I'm going to take the Mega Elixir. So I'm going to keep racing these Chocobos. I believe when you get to A class, you can get some good materia. You can get another counterattack materia. You can get a sneak materia that I definitely am going to get. I want to get. And you can even get a magic counter materia. And I think an enemy away materia, but I don't believe you can get those until A or S class. So I'm going to keep doing the Chocobo racing, and I'm going to take the GP unless it's one of those materias or it's a Mega Elixir, because this is the best way to get GP for the battle arena. So I'm just going to race both my Chocobos up to rank A, and I will meet you guys afterwards. Okay, so I'm back at the Chocobo Ranch. Now before I go in the Chocobo Ranch, there is one thing I do want to show you. You absolutely, positively want to save your game. Wait for it to load. I already have my save file right here, and you're also going to notice that I got rid of that extra Chocobo. Save your game. You have to save your game. If you did everything like I did, you should get a special Chocobo. If you don't get a special Chocobo, you just get a regular yellow Chocobo. You're going to have to go fight some battles, steal another Carob Nut, and you don't want to do that. You want to get a special Chocobo, and if you don't, you're going to want to restart your game, reset it. You can do soft or hard reset. Unfortunately for me, I'm on the Steam version, so I only have the hard reset option. I don't have a soft reset option. So, again, we're going to go try to breed a Chocobo. If you don't get a special Chocobo, a blue or green Chocobo, turn your game off, turn it back on, try again, and just keep doing that. But if you leveled them up to A class like I did, you should easily get a blue or a green Chocobo on the first try. The second special Chocobo, well, that's going to be more difficult. So, we'll run into the barn here. We're going to go talk to Choco Billy. And we're going to say that we want to make chocobos. And only going to make the 2 chocobos that I have. So, this one. And this one. Okay, so let's mate them. Which nut am I going to give them? Shouldn't the chocobo male already have his own nuts? Okay, apparently not. So we're going to give him one of our carob nuts. So just say, yeah, that's alright. And there's some hot, steamy chocobo sex that's unfortunately censored from us. And if you did it right, there it is. That is a green chocobo. It doesn't look as bright and brilliant green as it does on the PlayStation version. But that is a green male. So, we are going to name this chocobo, sticking with my pattern of being very creative. We're just going to name him Green, and we're going to remember that he is a male chocobo. So now what we need is we need a blue female chocobo. Now, you could get new chocobos to do that with. I'm just going to use the same parents over again. But if you want to try to mate your chocobos again to get the blue female, you go to Chocobilly, you go down to mating, and he's going to say you shouldn't mate those that just mated or those that were just born. So, chocobos that just mated, they can't mate for a little bit, and chocobos that were just born can't mate for a little bit. So real quickly, I'm just going to save my game because I got my one green chocobo. Now, what that means is I used to think it meant an amount of time that you couldn't mate them. What it means is once you've mated your 2 chocobos, they can't mate again for between 3 and 10 battles. You just have to get between 3 and 10 random battles, and they'll be able to mate again. For me, the magic number's always been 10. Some people say you can get it at 3. So I'm going to fight 10 random battles so I can mate them again. On the other hand, the chocobo that was just born, it won't be ready to mate anywhere between 3 and 18 random battles. People on GameFAQs have done the work and come up with these numbers. I've always found that 10 has worked for me. So right now, off screen, I'm just going to get in 10 random fights, and by that point in time, my chocobos should be ready to mate again. So I'm just going to do those fights here in the grasslands area, and we'll continue with this guide as soon as I've done that. Alright, so I got in my 10 random battles. My chocobos are ready to mate again, but once again, just to show you how absolutely important it is, I'm going to save my game. And I'm showing you this because I just want to hammer home the point that you absolutely need to save your game. So, now that we have a green male chocobo, we need to get a blue female chocobo. So, we're going to go through that process we just went through. We're going to go talk to Chocobilly. And this is where the game gets annoying. So you want to mate your chocobos, because we need a blue female. So the first chocobo didn't matter because this one and this one, because it didn't matter what we had. However, this time we need a specific color and a specific gender, and the game, I think, just knows that that's what you need. So we're probably going to be resetting multiple times to get this. Okay, so we're going to give them a Carob Nut, and hopefully if I'm lucky, I will get a blue female. Come on, big money, no whammy, no whammy, stop. Okay, it's blue. Please be female. Of course. So, that's what happens. You'll get a blue one, and it'll be male. You'll get a green one again, and it'll be female. So I don't need a blue male, I need a blue female. So if you have the PlayStation version, I recommend soft resetting, because you'll probably wind up getting the combination you need sooner. However, I'm playing on Steam, so I'm just going to have to quit and restart the game. But I'm not going to make you guys watch me fail over and over and over. I will be back once I have a blue female chocobo, and we can go from there. And I'm back. Now, I actually don't have the blue female chocobo yet, and I think I figured out why. So let me run into the chocobo range, and I'll try to explain it as easily as I possibly can. So getting your various chocobos in the game works using the random number generator of Final Fantasy VII. If you don't know what the random number generator is, basically when you hard reset the game or when you load the game for the first time, the random number generator, it's probably 0. I don't know the actual number. So it starts off kind of like a counter at 0, and then what you do in the game influences that counter. When it comes time for the game to determine the color and gender of your chocobo, whatever that counter corresponds to out of the combinations, that's what you'll get. And the way that people get around this is, in the PlayStation version, if you don't get what you need, you do a soft reset, which is select start, R1, L1, R2, L2. Now, what that does is when it's called a soft reset, because it doesn't impact the random number generator. What it does is it bumps it up one place. So you just have to keep doing that, and eventually you will come to a combination where you get the exact color and gender chocobo that you want. Problem is, they didn't encode a soft reset into the Steam version of the game. Luckily they did for Final Fantasy VIII, but they didn't for Final Fantasy VII. So what that means is, for the 15 times that I tried to do this, I was constantly getting green males with one blue male chocobo, no females at all. So I think I figured out a way to actually tweak the random number generator to give us blue females. This trick has worked for me by about 50% of the time. I always get a blue chocobo. It's just male or female that screws up. So I'm going to show you what it is. So, nope, I don't want to go in the menu. And if the random number generator stuff is confusing, I'm sorry, it's just, I don't really explain it that well. So what I've done is I talked to Choco Billy, and I'm going to feed the chocobo once, and I'm going to feed him 1 green. We're actually going to do this 3 times, but that doesn't mean you feed him 3 greens. It means you do this feeding you do it 3 times with 1 green each. So basically, feeding a chocobo a green bumps the random number generator up 1. So I tried this, I fed him 1 green, I tried breeding, didn't get what I needed. I tried feeding him 2 greens, didn't get what I needed. Finally, when I fed him 3 greens, like I said, 50% of the time, I get what I'm looking for. So if you're having trouble and you're playing the Steam version and you're not getting what you need, you know what? Feed your chocobo a green and try mating. And then if that doesn't work, feed him a green twice, and eventually it should work and you should get the combination that you need. So I'll feed him another green. This is number 2. And you see how stamina and intelligence plussed? So his speed is maxed out right now. I am still going to feed him 30 Sylkis Greens because stamina is not maxed out. So for the 3rd time, we're going to feed our chocobo. And I'm going to select the Sylkis Green. I'm actually kind of mad at myself because I did this earlier, but I realized I never actually recorded. So we're going to feed the chocobo for the 3rd time. So select the 1 green. Gonna say yes. Okay. So stamina went up. That's the only stat we can match up because the special chocobos, they actually get a boost in the stats from their parents. Like I said, though, I will have to give him 27 more greens just to max out the stamina. So now that I've done that feeding 3 times, it should work. So I'm gonna mate my 2 chocobos. So we're gonna go here and here. So we're gonna mate our 2 chocobos. Go ahead. Use our one of our 2 remaining Carob Nuts. And hopefully after the miracle of life, I will have a blue female. Okay, so it's blue. Give the chocobo female a name. So there you go. If you're having trouble, let me just quickly name this one, and in keeping with the tradition of my creative names, we will name her Blue. You're my boy, Blue. Except you're a girl. So if you're having trouble getting the chocobo that you need, try that trick. Feed your chocobo 1 green, try to mate. If you don't get what you need, restart, try 2 greens. Like I said though, if you're playing on the PlayStation version, all you have to do is the soft reset, which is select start, L1, R1, L2, R2, and that will work. Okay, so I got my green chocobo and my blue chocobo. What I'm going to do now, and I'm going to do all this off screen, I'm going to head to the chocobo sage's house, get some more greens so I can feed each chocobo 30 greens. And then I'm going to take both of these chocobos to the gold saucer, and this time we are not racing up to A class, we are racing up to S class, so hopefully I'll finally be able to get some of that good materia that you can get in A class, otherwise I'll just be taking my GP. And once I've got them both at S class, I'm going to fight 10 battles outside outside the chocobo ranch. Because the blue chocobo was just born, I need to fight those battles so that I can breed the blue and green chocobo. So I'm going to do all that off screen, and when I come back, it'll be time for mating. Okay, and I'm back. I did all the chocobo racing I wanted to do at the gold saucer. Now, my B chocobo, I couldn't get up to S class. I couldn't win a single race in A class, because my blue and my green chocobo's speed tops out at 92, and most A class racers have over 100. That won't be an issue for too much longer. So I got them raced up. My green is S class, my blue is A class, and I fought the 10 battles so I can breed them. So once again, you want to save outside of the chocobo ranch, and then you want to go in and talk to Choco Billy, and you want to mate your green and your blue chocobo. Yes, I know they're siblings. I'm well aware of that. The Lannisters approve. So we'll just choose to mate them. We'll use our last Carob Nut. So bye-bye last Carob Nut. And if everything's done as it should, in the morning we'll have a new special chocobo. And there it is. Believe it or not, as gray as it looks, that is a black chocobo. Chocobo male. So I'm going to once again continue with my incredibly creative naming. And just call this one black. I know it looked kind of white almost. Or maybe a smoky gray, but it's a black chocobo. So, that is... The black chocobo is actually the combination of the green and the blue chocobo. So while the green chocobo could go up mountains and the blue chocobo could handle rivers, the black chocobo can handle both. So real quickly, I'm going to feed him. And one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to have to go and actually release the parents. The great and the good chocobo I started with. I'm going to have to unfortunately get rid of them. Simply because I have to get another chocobo to add to my stable. So we'll feed this guy 30. And once I get that other chocobo, I won't be able to breed a special chocobo because I won't have room, because that'll be using all 6 stables. Now the black chocobo should have absolutely no problem getting up to S class, because he's a product of the green and the blue chocobo mating, so he will get some of their stats, some of their higher speed incorporated into his stats, and he should be able to beat A-class racers. And so we got to release 2 chocobos. Thank you for serving your purposes, but good F, you can go ahead and go back to the wild. And I gotta select release again. So just release the other one. So there is one other chocobo that we have to go catch, and I'm going to show you where that is as soon as I release Great M, our great chocobo. Yep, go ahead, release him. So we need to get a female wonderful chocobo. And the wonderful chocobo is located on the northern continent, kind of near the Icicle Inn. Well, yeah, kind of. So let me just hop in the high wind. Real quickly, we'll head to the North Continent, do a little ghost riding. And if you remember my Icicle Inn episode, there were some chocobo tracks in the snow. So that's where we want to go. So the chocobo tracks, we actually can't land on snow in the high wind. So hopefully I can make it in one run and I don't have to edit out a battle. Okay, 2 runs. Alright, so here's on the Chocobo track, and you want to encounter the Chocobo with 2 jumping bunnies, which is, the enemy is just called jumping. So I'm going to run around on the tracks. I will edit out all the battles until I get the 2 that I want. Remember, it has to be 2 of the jumpings, not 1, 2. Okay, here is the Chocobo I'm looking for. So first things first, give it some Mimic Greens. Vincent can use Death Blow on the jumping. Let's see. I think I'll need another... I think I'll need to hit him with a second attack. So Vincent, use Death Blow. Oh, and of course, the Mimic Green doesn't even last a full turn. Okay, so we'll have Sid throw another Mimic Green. We'll have Cloud hit the other jumping, and hopefully that'll be enough. Stay down, dumbass. Oh, Cloud. Okay, hopefully Vincent will get it, and hopefully the Chocobo won't flip its shit. Okay, good. So there we go. We killed the 2 jumpings, the 2 bunny enemies, and we got ourselves a Chocobo, and this is the wonderful Chocobo that we're looking for. So I'm just going to disembark. Choose send it back to the stables. So you could choose to go back to the Chocobo Ranch. I'm just going to go and catch 1 more, and then I'll meet you guys outside the Chocobo Ranch once I've caught my second wonderful Chocobo. Okay, here we are outside the Chocobo Ranch. I'm going to go ahead and save my game as you want to do in case you don't get the gender that you need. It was really easy to catch those 2 jumping enemies on my playthrough. I had a hell of a time getting them. Maybe 4 or 5 battles, and I got both Chocobos. And let's see here. So we'll run into the Chocobo Ranch. You can see them there walking around. So we're going to go talk to Choco Billy. And we want to move our Chocobos. Okay, so let's see here. Remember, we need a wonderful female. So, yep, a wonderful Chocobo. Put it in our stable. Come on, female. So it's a male. Hopefully our other one is female. So we'll talk to him again. Hopefully this one is not male as well. Come on, please be female. Please. Okay, so they're both male. So that's why you save before you enter the Chocobo Ranch. So real quickly, I'm just going to restart my game. And when I come back, I'll have the wonderful female Chocobo in my stable. Okay, so there you go. As you can see, we got a Chocobo female after I've restarted. And since wonderful doesn't fit in the screen, I'm going to call this one Wendy. And it's up to you. That was the first Chocobo I checked out. I'm going to leave that one in the pen. It's up to you if you want to actually move them in and release them. So real quickly, I just got to feed our wonderful Chocobo 30 Sylkis Greens, because up next, I have to race the black Chocobo up to S-Class, and you may be able to race the wonderful Chocobo up to S-Class. I'm going to stay at A-Class with her, because she doesn't have to be S-Class. So, once again, I'm going to off-screen all of my gold saucer racing, because it is kind of boring if you guys just watch me doing race after race after race. And also, you can just use the automatic function with your black Chocobo, because he's going to completely dominate the field. And if there's anything interesting, I'll just show you guys that. In fact, I think I will show you Teioh in a race, because there's a couple things about Teioh that really piss me off. So, that's it. I'm going to go race my Chocobos. I'm going to fight the 10 fights so my black Chocobo can breed. And so I'll probably show you Teioh, and then after that, it's just going to be Gold Chocobo time. So, I will see you guys sometime at the Gold Saucer. So one thing that'll happen at the Gold Saucer is after a certain number of races, another person in your party will ask to hop on the Chocobo. So it'll be nice. I'll let Sid race. And just so you can see, this Chocobo, the Black Chocobo, has a top speed of 118 kilometers. It has a stamina of 999, which is the max we can give it. And you can see it will decimate everyone in the B Division, and it should have no problem in the A Division as well. So I hope I win that hero drink. One more thing I want to show you here at the Gold Saucer. So when that time comes, I'll make sure to show you. Okay, and here's another thing about Chocobo racing at the Gold Saucer. So this is a B-class race, and you can see that Teioh is in our race. Teioh, who's riding Joe. Two things. One, he has a higher top speed than us, but I'm not worried about that. Our Gold Chocobo will blow that speed out of the water. But his stamina is 4 digits. He has 1,249 stamina. However, we can only do 999. So that's bullshit number 1. Bullshit number 2, Teioh is an S-class Chocobo. Teioh and Joe are in the S-class. We're in the B-class. We can only race B-class. We can't go down to C-class. When we're in the A-class, we can't drop down to S-class. But for some reason, they allow Teioh to drop down to the B-class or A-class. So you just got to deal with him occasionally. It's annoying because you're trying to level up these Chocobos as fast as possible. So I hate Teioh, and I can't wait to destroy him in the S-class a little later. So there is one more thing I forgot to tell you guys about. I've actually figured out the trick to restore your stamina. You can see stamina going down. If you hold page down and end on the keyboard in Steam, you will recoup some of your stamina, so that's pretty good. If you're having any trouble in certain races, hopefully it helps you. As I'm just going to win this A-class race. Bum-ba-da-bum-ba-da-bum. There we go. So remember, page down in A is the default keyboard combination to boost your stamina in Steam. It is possible. I forgot about that. Oh, and I get a cat spell. That's not a horrible accessory. I'm still looking for the sneak attack materia. Alright, and we're back. My Black Chocobo has been raced up to S-Class. My wonderful Chocobo has been raced up to A-Class. I fought 10 battles outside of the Chocobo Ranch. It's time for all that hard work and all that racing at the Chocobo races to finally pay off. So we'll talk to Choco Billy. Make absolutely sure, once again, you have saved your game outside like I have. And you're going to want to mate your Chocobos. So first things first, we're going to choose our Black Chocobo. And next one we're going to choose is going to be our wonderful Chocobo. Now this time, we're not going to use a Carob Nut, we're going to use the Zeio Nut that we had to steal from the goblins. If you're playing on Steam, you'll get an achievement for Gold Chocobo. I've already gotten that achievement on my playthrough, so it will not show up. But if everything's been done right, and there it is. Believe it or not, that is a Gold Chocobo. You can tell that it's a brighter, lighter color than the wonderful Chocobo, and I'll show that to you in a minute. So I'm just going to delete, and the Gold Chocobo, because it's a female, we're going to name her Goldie. Why not? Okay, or apparently I can't spell, so try this again. There we go. So there is our Gold Chocobo. Now, just in case you don't think, you're like, well, maybe it's not a Gold Chocobo, you can see here in the right-hand side, you can see how much brighter and yellow that is compared to the wonderful Chocobo. So real quick, we're just going to feed our Gold Chocobo some greens, because her speed and her stamina, they're going to be pretty close to their max values, but I want to make sure. I got 30 Sylkis Greens left. I have no need of any of them anymore. So just to show you, our green, our blue, the black. So here's what the wonderful looks like, and that's what a regular Chocobo looks like. And there's the gold. You can see that it's a much brighter color. So, just in case you're worried, did I really get a gold? Yep, that's a Gold Chocobo. It's even more pronounced on the PlayStation version. So we're going to feed her all 30 greens. speed plus, and stamina and intelligence were already maxed out. Nice. So, I'm going to head to the Gold Saucer real quick. One, just because I want to show you how insane Chocobo racing will be now. So I will meet you guys at the Gold Saucer. So as we run up to the Chocobo racing game, the cat spell that I got last in one of the last videos, what that does is it restores your HP as you walk. It's nice, I probably won't use it. I have yet to get the sneak attack materia that I want, so I can get a sneak attack on my enemies. With the Gold Chocobo, I'll either win it in A class, or it's part of a prize package that Esther gives you when you win 10 races in a row in S class. And our Gold Chocobo is going to be the only Chocobo we have that can actually win an S class race. And this Chocobo will probably actually put Joe and Teioh to shame, even though they will have more stamina. Nope, Sid, first time out, I'm going to ride it. So if you want to see our Chocobo stats, 147 kilometers per hour. Now, I actually had one that was a little higher yesterday on my playthrough, but that's okay. So just showing you in C class how absolutely insane the Gold Chocobo is. I'm going to use it, like I said, to win those items. I'm not going to show you guys that, though. I'm going to do all of that off-screen. So the next time I'll see you guys, I'm going to meet you back at the Chocobo Ranch, and there I'm finally going to show you the reason you get the Gold Chocobo is there's 4 materia caves in the world, and we're finally going to show you what's in every single materia cave. And you can just see by looking at the map in the upper right-hand corner how my Chocobo finished the race in about half the time it's going to take everyone else. So I'll meet you guys back at the Chocobo Ranch. Okay, here we are at the Chocobo Ranch. Now we're going to talk to Choco Billy because we want to ride our Chocobo. So you might be wondering, the black Chocobo was the combination of the blue and the green. Well, what does breeding the black Chocobo get with the wonderful? Well, let's show you. So we're going to ride our Chocobo. We're going to head out of the eastern continent. We're actually going to head all the way over to Wutai. And in case you didn't know, yep, this Chocobo is the Ocean Chocobo, or the Sea Chocobo, can pretty much run anywhere on the map. So before I get over to Wutai, I'm actually going to make a quick stop on the Western Continent, because that's where one of the 4 materia caves that I want to visit are. So I figured I could do this in a new episode, but you guys that stuck through how to breed the Gold Chocobo should see what your rewards finally are. And I think I want to go about this way for the materia cave. So just run across the Western Continent. It's somewhere on the Western Continent. And just to show you, Chocobos can even run on the desert in the Gold Saucer area. Let's see. I think it's over here, maybe? It's Nibelheim. What's up here? Aha, yes. Okay. So run on the backside of this mountain to the north end of the continent, and you can hop off your Chocobo here and enter this materia cave. Over the course of many years, Mako energy crystallizes into materia. Receive the HP-MP materia, one of the rare materias in the game. Like its name implies, what it lets you do is it lets you swap your HP and MP, so that if you have full health at 9999, you can have 9999 MP. I'm not going to use it. There really won't be anything in the game where I'll have to use it. Well, there's maybe one instance, but I'm going to show you a different way, so don't worry about it. So the next materia cave that we want to visit is on Wutai. And Wutai, where is it? It's on the other side. Now that HP MP materia, you don't have to get the Gold Chocobo. I just wanted to wait until I had the Gold Chocobo to show everything. The HP MP materia you could have actually gotten with your black Chocobo. Where's this damn materia cave? So in case you also didn't notice, as I, let's see, switch my view around, when you're on the Gold Chocobo, you don't get into any random battles. I think the Midgar Zalem is the only one that you can actually fight on the Gold Chocobo. Alright, so just give me a minute. I'm going to find the materia cave here on Wutai, and I'll be back when I've found it. Aha, here it is on the eastern end of Wutai. So I'll disembark here, and we'll have Cloud run in. And this is the yellow materia from the Materia Cave. I believe it's the support materia, no, blue support. And this is the Mime Materia. This is actually a good materia, because what it'll allow you to do is it'll allow you to mime the previous party member's attack. So there's certain summons in the game that you can use, and basically with Mime you can have another character mime that attack without the summon, so that's pretty nice. This is another Materia Cave you could have reached with either a black chocobo or a green chocobo if you would have brought them both onto your airship. But no need to bring the gold chocobo on the airship because she can go wherever she wants. And the next Materia Cave is down here. Now this is one that you can actually glitch with your high wind. If you land just right, the high wind would land right here, and Cloud would land right here. I didn't want to bother trying it. And this is also another one that you could have gotten with a black chocobo or a blue chocobo. Or maybe a green chocobo. I'm not sure, but definitely the black chocobo. So this is the blue Materia Cave. I believe this is the support materia. I forget what it's actually called. And for this we get Quadra magic, allowing us to cast a magic spell 4 times in a row. So maybe I'll use that, I don't know. But the real materia, the real reason that you bred the Gold Chocobo is because the one materia, the summon materia, you can only get with a Gold Chocobo. Every other one of these materias can be gotten with a black and one of the other colored chocobos. This one, however, you can only get with a Gold Chocobo. So we're going to head to the upper right-hand corner of the world. And the island should come into view any second now. Aha, there it is. A little bit to the left. And so I'll disembark here. And if I go here, you can see it's called Round Island. And the Summon Materia Cave. Knights of the Round achievement unlocked, as you see. So, that's the most powerful summon in the game. And you know what? I think it warrants a little demonstration. So, I didn't like those goblins that last time. So let's head to Goblin Island, or whatever this first island is, and let's demonstrate Knights of the Round. Okay, so I'm waiting for a goblin to attack me. The blue materia is support materia. The yellow materia, which I blanked on, is command materia. And the purple materia is the MP+. Wow, is the independent materia. So, just to show you that spell, go down here. It has a 250 magic cost, so you can only cast it 3 times without using like another. But let's just extreme summoned monsters. Totally overkill for these guys, but let's show you what it is. Yeah, pretty good summon. These guys are going to get hit 13 times. The cost of your stats, you know, it is huge, so it's, do you want to use it? It's going to be overkill for a lot of, pretty much almost everyone in the game, but it will make boss battles much easier, so I'll use it some of the time. I'm not going to use it all the time, but if you've gotten the Gold Chocobo and you're playing along, feel free to absolutely dominate the rest of the game with this spell. Now, I don't know if these are supposed to be Arthur's Knights of the Round Table, but it's absolutely insane and way overpowered. I think one of the final Sephiroth battles, believe it or not, can actually take out in one casting. And here comes Arthur just to state his purpose. So yeah, like I said, pretty much total overkill for a lot of the enemies in the game. Up to you if you want to use it. Like I previously said, I am going to use it, because why not? So, that's going to be it for this episode. I covered a lot of information. If there's anything that you're unclear of, or you're having trouble getting yourself to this nice gold chocobo right here, feel free to drop me a comment. Smash the thumbs up if you like the video. And once again, guys, thanks for sticking with me for the whole thing. I'll see you next time.